Once upon a time, in a peaceful green valley where the sunlight always glowed warmly on the trees and the pond shimmered like a mirror, there lived two very different friends, a graceful white stork and a cheerful orange fox. Though one had wings that touched the sky and the other had paws that loved the earth, their hearts had long been tied together with threads of kindness and trust. Every morning, the stork would step gently along the grassy paths that led from the forest to his pondside home. His long legs moved slowly and gracefully, while his wings opened slightly as if to greet the breeze. The fox, who lived in a cozy den under a great old tree, often waved goodbye when the stork passed by. And when evening came, the fox's tail would swish with delight at the thought of walking the same path toward the pond, where his tall, feathered friend waited. Their friendship was full of laughter and warmth. They told each other stories of the day. The stork speaking of the rippling water, the soft lotus flowers, and the fish that darted like silver arrows beneath the pond's surface, while the fox spoke of playful adventures in the forest, chasing butterflies and rolling in the tall grass. Despite their differences, they found joy in each other's company, and their hearts grew fonder every day. One bright golden afternoon, the fox came to visit the stork at his pondside home. He stretched out comfortably beneath a large tree, curling his fluffy tail around him, while the stork stood nearby, his eyes shining with a smile. The pond reflected the glowing sun, birds fluttered across the sky, and the lotus flowers seemed to nod their pink and white heads in gentle approval. It was a moment of true peace, the kind of happiness that only blossoms between friends. That day, the stork wanted to do something special. He had prepared a feast unlike any other, arranging large shrimp and crabs on a wooden platter. When the fox saw it, his eyes widened in delight and sparkled with excitement. His tail wagged so quickly that it seemed like a little fire dancing in the sunlight. The fox leaned forward, eager to taste the feast, and the stork's heart swelled with pride to see his friend so happy. But the stork, with his tall, slender beak, had another surprise in mind. He brought out a long clay pot filled with more shrimp and crabs. "Here, my friend," he said kindly, "this is how I usually eat." The fox laughed playfully, trying to reach into the pot with his paws. It was a tricky task for him, but he didn't give up, wagging his tail and chuckling at the challenge. The stork, standing nearby, smiled warmly, feeling grateful for this bond they shared, so simple, yet so full of meaning. As the golden light of evening bathed the pond and painted the world in soft hues of orange and pink, the two friends sat together by the water. The stork dipped his beak gracefully into the pot, while the fox nibbled happily at what he could reach. They shared not just food but